Good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad to see Mr. Ron here in the house already. I am here. Mother's Day or not, I didn't quite sure, but I decided to anyways. But I'm glad I'm here. So what the heck are we going to do today? I've done a lot on the frame. Let's see if my camera is going to flip out today with the light. Rick, welcome, buddy. My camera going to flip out. Nope. GSL kind of got me a little excited, and I kind of came home and did a little building on the copperhead. I had to rebuild the frame. The last one we built wouldn't quite clear the transmission pan that's on this thing, so had to rebuild it. Ended up rebuilding the back half of the frame, and I started the little tiny mini rear suspension on this. But I know a couple of you guys probably want a little recap of what happened at GSL, how to go, what happened, some of the things that went on, everything like that. So, to begin with, GSL was freaking amazing. I had a blast. 4-day event. Learned a lot of things. I got to actually sit down with a couple of my favorite builders and chat with them. John Teresi, he was amazing. I got to sit and talk to him for about an hour. A couple other guys that I got to sit down with, and I learned a lot from them. Enjoyed the coverage show. What do you think of the new camera angle? I've got to work on the rig. Where is that? You guys know my little Hot Wheels rig. That's what I shot the footage with. It needs some tweaking to make it better, but I was pretty happy with it. Some amazing builds. I wish I took more pictures. That was probably only half of the pictures I took, or could have took. I was just so busy doing everything else that I didn't get a chance to take a lot of pictures. A lot of people did, though. They're out on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. Got to meet up with an old friend that I've known for a little while, Chris Chapman. He showed up to the show and brought 3 builds of a buddy that passed away 3 weeks before GSL. He had his plane ticket, hotel reservation, he had everything ready to go to GSL, and passed away 3 weeks before. He contacted his family and got 3 of his builds, and that's part of the dedication at the end of that video, with the green truck. So pretty happy there. Got to do that for Chapman, and then also for Brandon, since his dad passed away last year. Brought some of his dad's build. And why is my camera flipping out today? Stop. Come on. Stay focused. My light's flipping out. So I went to the trade show. Ended up buying some stuff. If you guys want to see what the hell I bought. I bought, let's see, semi-trailer for an upcoming build. I got Adobe Cobra. I bought that there. And then of course Scale Finishes was there, and oh jeez, got a bunch of new stuff. Where's the rest of the new stuff? Hold on, guys. So, if you guys haven't heard of this is a color changing paint. It is mixed with the clear, so it goes on top. I don't know if he's carrying this stuff or if he had it just at GSL, but there you go. You can buy just the pearls from that company. There we go, focus. It doesn't want to focus today. But I bought a bunch of that, a bunch of color changing stuff. Okay, I bought a few of that stuff. Bought some other colors. Should have shook all these up. Really kind of cool metallic blue. 4GT gray. Another green. Really cool metallic green. This one is for the wife's truck. She is wanting to do wanting me to do the chip foose truck in this color. And it's got a lot of pigment. It's kind of a root beer brown, but it's got quite a bit of pearl in it. I bought a cool green for an old Roadster. Bunch of paint. Ugh. And then thud. I went up after the trade show and I got this too. You only see about half of the box, and it is nothing but old Scale Finishes paint, just full. So I think I'm set on paint for a while. I hope. Most of this is enamel, but I've got a dehydrator that I throw all my stuff in, so you think I'm set on paint for a little while? Should be good on paint. Yeah, I think I am. Oh, let's see, it's in here. This is like something I'm super happy that I snagged. I didn't think I was going to be able to. So in here, that's a tray of paint, yes. Is some goodies. So, in curbside diorama, I have a full, I think this is probably pewter frame. And then along with that is the front and rear suspension, all out of pewter. I don't know what I'm going to build with all of this. I thought about maybe trying this on here, because it is about the right wheelbase that I want. And I may mock it up and see if it would work, because it has an independent front suspension and then a 4-link rear. But it has everything, the shock mounts, I mean, rack and pinion. Some of this stuff in here is just crazy. I think it is a 32 Ford frame. But there's the independent suspension on this. It's just, the detail on it is just amazing. The rack and pinion. And I may mock this up and see how the wheelbase is and see if it would work with this motor. And I may go that route, because we're about the right wheelbase. The only thing I worry is about this twin turbo motor, because the turbos stick out so weird. Let's see, does this say what it's for? Cast metal kit. Yep, for a 32 Ford straight rod frame. So you're right. Oh, good old Mr. Grant. You guys want a funny story? You need to ask Grant what happened at the museum to him. It was fun to actually spend a couple of days with Grant at GSL. I think was a blast. I don't think I'm ever allowed to go to lunch with him again, and Mr. Rob, but it was a hell of a time. Grant, he walked away with what? I think 4 trophies for his first time being at GSL. Well, I walked away with 1. I walked away with 3rd place in diorama with my 32 Ford that I did. Shocked as hell, because in that class there were some pretty good dioramas. But for Grant to take what? I'm remembering right, a 4th, a 3rd, and a 1st in his class. Correct me if I'm wrong, Grant. That was mind-blowing for his first one. I've been to 3 and I've walked home with 2 awards. He's been to 1 and like walked away with I think 4. Pretty damn impressive. Yeah, 4 awards. I mean, Grant, his builds were amazing. I mean, pictures don't do them justice. Yeah, with the wrecker. Let's see, where is good old Grant's? What did your wrecker take? So good old Grant's shop card added to mine. That makes number 4 for shop cards. I got good old Grant, Scale Factory, Hunter Customs, and good old Mr. Ron Stewart. That's the next thing I'm going to be working on is shop cards now that the bug is done and of course the World War II Jeep is done. Ugh. My hall's not anything. Yeah, crap's falling in my room. Got 3rd with the 38. Nice. So I think Grant had a fun time hanging out with me, Ace, and Rob, and everything. Uh, and then I got the harebrained idea with my stickers. I was running around the parking lot on people's cars that I knew, and I was tagging people's cars. I think I ended up getting 7 vehicles, including Mr. Grant. His wild and crazy car. Got a couple of our guild members. I got Chris Chapman. I got Grant. Speaking of the last show, you got 3 years, guys. 3 years. That's it. No more GSL. So if it's something on your bucket list, you got 3 years from now to get everything in order, to get some builds done, to get everything lined up financially wise. We would love to have all of you guys that pop into my live stream there for the last GSL. I've got 3 builds in mind. I've got Copperhead. I've got my Box Bronco. I'm going to turn it into a Overland Box Bronco. And then, if I still have time, I want to do my custom semi. When I mean custom semi, that's why I have the trailer. This thing's going to be sitting on the ground. The semi and the trailer. Turn the trailer into like an RV. Just so it just sits, comes to a show, and just drops. You see no tires from the trailer. It's just a block sitting on the ground. Wheels and tires for the semi-rig, all rat rotted out. So that's going to be a heavy custom. But I think it's going to be fun and something different. And why is my phone being retarded today? Please ignore that beeping. So guys, get everything in order. Let's see you at GSL for the last one. We'd love to see you there. Oh, it was a super fun show. I mean, I've got to meet Grant once before, and for only a couple hours, and actually just get to spend a couple of days with him and his brother. I'd take that again for the last GSL. Alright, let's see. I've got to figure out what the width of this frame is. Right here. 43.7. Quackulator. Divided by 2 is 21. .8. 5. Oh. Let's see. I need to do it this way. It should be middle of my frame. I don't know if that's right, because my marks are off. 43 by 2 is 21.85. I should. What the hell am I doing wrong here? Three. Okay, what the hell is going on here? So make sure you guys get to GSL for the last one. 48.49 divided by 2 is 24. That's better. Well, from what I understand of Mr. Grant, he will be getting back to YouTube. Did a nice apology letter on Instagram, but I don't think was really needed. We all understand this is a hobby and not a lifestyle. Sometimes life gets in the way. But it is much appreciated from Mr. Grant. Doop-a-doop-doo. Let's see here. Alright, that is centered rod for that. Yeah, I just throw mine together. In fact, this isn't even glued on. It's just sitting there. That's all they are. It's kind of disappointing that they are this way, but I understand because a lot of people come worldwide to this show. So being compact and being in just kind of a small box, you know, makes it a lot nicer. But I wish they'd just do a better material when they 3D print these. I mean, let's see. They're rough. You know, it's like they were the very first 3D printed parts everywhere. They're just super, super rough. But that's alright. I understand just because of the quality of the show and stuff like that. I mean, at the award ceremony, do I have a picture of that on my phone? Yes, I do. From Puerto Rico. Yep, that's what I was just going to talk about. So, this build here is about the freaking size of a Hot Wheels. And this thing has so much detail of seat belts, of wires, of brake lines, of everything. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, nice. You ran into him at the hobby store? So he was telling us that he flew from Puerto Rico to here, got to the hotel, opened up his bag, and all he had was the base for the car in it. So he called his buddy in Puerto Rico, put him on an airplane, flew him to Dallas, from Dallas to Salt Lake City to bring the model to him. When he got it, it was broken in pieces. He rebuilt it the night before the show opened. I couldn't believe that he like rebuilt that thing that's only like this big. It's ridiculous. I don't know how he does it, how he works on stuff that small. I mean, some of the wires that are in that thing were like the size of a pencil, like a lead pencil, the end of it. It was mind-blowing. I don't have... Yeah, and in the like other side in the motorcycle class, there was a motorcycle that was like this big that was just scratch built. Had like a little chain running to all the drives and everything on it. I mean, it was crazy, this show. I mean, if you guys have seen John Teresi's Bug that he did, the replicated of the Buick Bug, I mean, that thing just, I don't even know what to say. And he was competing in the same class as me. I didn't win anything, but when you're competing up with that high of skill and people, it's crazy. It's fun to be able to talk to those guys. Got my picture taken with Teresi and Chris Soto. I think that's right. Not this show, they do an auction that benefits the museum and stuff, and that was a blast. My wife got spoiled like she does every year because of one of the guys that shows up there. They've kind of become friends. I mean, the auction alone was just amazing. They ran, I think, what they say, Grant, over $4,000 in the auction that benefits the museum and keeps it running for another year or so. Oh. I mean, it was fun. All right. Show. Let's see if this thing's dry enough so I can sand it a little. And my messy hair is in the picture again, like always. Because it's Sunday and I just don't care. So Grant, was that your first time being at the museum, or did Ace take you that last November show? I mean, that alone right there, being able to go to the museum. But I have hair. Yeah, I was late getting to GSL because I stopped to get my hair cut. What do you think? What's your overall opinion of that museum? If you guys haven't seen what's in, don't have. If you guys haven't seen what's inside the museum, go back in my videos about 2 years. The last GSL I did a video there. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. Yeah, my favorite thing in that whole museum, in a display case, is kind of like an exploded view of how the car would actually go together. Like, you know, something kind of similar like this, where you have the intake, the heads, the block would be next to it, and it's of a Shelby Cobra that was all machined. I can't remember the guy's name right now. He's passed away, but he machined all these parts for this Cobra. Um, Out of brass and aluminum and everything, and it's just amazing to see that display. He's got a couple other cars that are done that same way. I mean, to me, that's like my favorite thing in that whole museum. And there's my hair. I really need to fix that camera, but Grant, yeah, it's absolutely wild. Um, and then right next to it, Grant, if you remember the big 8 scale exploded engine block with all the pistons and everything. I mean, that thing's just freaking awesome. It's the things that are in that museum are completely wild. I had a blast at the show. I wish it was actually a couple more days longer. Oh, what is poking me? Stuff falling everywhere. But it's well worth it, guys. You need to make it to the next GSL. The show alone, to meet the people, I'm not sure, Rick, who built the Cobra. You'd have to go back in that video and see if there's a name on the plaque of who built it. Grant, you got any pictures of that has that guy's name of the Cobra? It could be him. I honestly don't know who it is that did those Cobras. I mean, they're absolutely amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back in that video and see. Let's take a look here, because I can. Let's see. Your channel. Videos. Let's go back. 11 months. We're getting warmer. International Motorcar Builders Museum. Oh, good grief, shut up. Blah, blah, blah. Chris Chapman. We're getting warmer. We're getting warmer. Nope. We're still in the front room. Still in the front room. I'm looking, guys, to see. Alright, we're getting closer. That's the big wall of the engine. And I can't see your chat right now. I think I had to skip because everyone loves those cobras. Alright, here we go. Ken Miles is what it says. Ken Miles special. I'm trying to see. Daytona Coupe. That was the name of the car. But I do not see a name on who built them. Ugh. Ah! What did I do? I need my keyboard. I'm looking. Yeah, I just don't see a name on who built them. Let's see, what are you guys talking about? Okay. 2 times. Was amazing as machines. Yeah, I'm not sure who built those, but they're ridiculous. They're amazing. Sorry if you hear my dog going ballistic. Let's see, that is not centered here. Because my part is not centered there. That is alright. It's centered on the axle, so. I mean, there's some amazing builders out there, and that's one I wish I knew. Not that I'm calling you old timers, but sometimes it's nice to know people that have been building a lot longer and has that knowledge of people in the past. You know, some of the amazing builders. I'm not calling you old. But the knowledge that you guys have, you know, I'm like down here just barely learning. And you guys are up here with your knowledge of people, so. Girls are welcome. I'm not calling you guys old. I'm just trying to think of another word for old. At least I didn't call you ancient. Alright, let's work on something here. Since now this is off-centered, that is okay with me because it'll add some character. No, don't you son of a bitchy bastard. Sometimes I just wish I had that knowledge of the model community. It was money well spent. Somebody got a new airbrush? Who got a new airbrush? I'll figure out what style of suspension I want to do on this. Money well spent. Airbrushes always are money well spent. Let's see what we got in the parts bin. Do I like that? Is that gonna look cool? Probably not. Fred, you got a new airbrush. What'd you get? Don't tell me you went with a Pache. .32 Ford parts. Not another arm. I know I have one somewhere. Let's see how this is gonna look. Do I like that? Do I like that? No, not really. The Neo! The Neo! Don't mind it's dirty. Is this side cleaner? Nope, that's not any cleaner either. $1964? Wow. Yep, that's my Neo. It's dirty. That's what I use. That is my color. The only thing that comes out of this gun is color. And then I have one just for clear coat. And eventually I want to get another Neo for dark colors. So that one I will just spray light colors like whites and light colors and another dark, and then I have one just for clear coat. It's not a bad airbrush. Not bad at all. Alright. I don't like how I did the mounts on the Oldsmobile. They broke on me. I think I want to do something different. I think I have to go pick up a smaller rod. Or a smaller square box, because those are pretty big and bulky. I don't think I have any smaller. Let's look through my styrene stash. I'll have to go pick up some other box. Well, you got two Neos? Peter at Scale World. That is one place I still need to go, and why I'm thinking about it. Let's type it into my search. Scale World. Grant, what's the website for Scale World? in the 90s. Skeleworld.net. Thank you. Go to. Couldn't remember if it was .com. I'm human.
To continue, click Add to Chrome, and then click Add Extension.
What the hell? No. What the hell is this crap? My computer's doing weird crap. You sure that's the website, Grant? It's not pulling up. Google search. Here. I got it. I think, I got it. I found it. I think there's a ghost in my room. Alright, back to what the heck we were doing. I don't know. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, don't worry about it. You didn't miss too much. Ouch. Alright, we're not out of time yet, but I'm going to ask you guys anyways. If you could design your dream model car workbench, what would be some things on that workbench that you would like to see or have? I'm surprised I have any of you guys here on my live stream, honestly. Dancing girls. No, as functionality. So, as of like organizations, you definitely want a paint rack, right? 1 or 2 paint racks. So with paps. So you'd want 1 or 2 paint racks. Quality light. Lighting. What else? Organization for maybe all of your styrene, stuff like that. My lighting's good, it just doesn't show up on camera very well. Is the video buffering? I don't think so. Shouldn't be. Sam Adams and does. I just need a fridge full of good old monsters. I'm good. So in one of the seminars that I went to, The guy does a lot of machining parts. Absolutely amazing machinist. But he had a piece probably about this big. I couldn't really tell from the pictures. Not sure what I saw. Paints, what a cool idea. That is pretty cool. But he had a piece of pegboard. It was set off to the side of where so his workbench was here. Off to the side, he had what he called a sanding station. So it was a piece of pegboard with a box underneath it and a vacuum. So any sanding that he did, he flipped a switch that turned on the vacuum, pulled all the dust and everything out when he was doing all his sanding and everything that I never would have thought of. So I've talked to my brother, and once I get a little bit more money, I'm going to be building my dream workbench. Right now I have a L-shaped desk. This is the corner of it that you guys all see. It goes this way and that way. I hate the way it's set up, so I'm going to redesign that. I'm in the process right now of redesigning my spray booth, so it will actually be mounted onto my desk, like in the corner. This guy, he had a kind of U-shaped desk where his chair just went up and down the middle. Everything was in reach, so when he turned, all his paint was on this side. He could grab what he needed. Came back here, his paint booth was, underneath his paint that came out on a drawer. That's all kind of things. Once I actually redesign my desk and I get my booth, I can start building the dimensions, everything around it. So that's why I'm asking you guys. We all have different workbench. We all know how things work, what you guys like, what you don't like. One of my favorite things is my magnetic strip, where I've got all my tools that just magnetic on. So that's really, really handy. But in doing with YouTube, I've got to kind of make it work within that range of having my workbench. This is getting redesigned where it's actually going to get my lights back, because I miss my lights. Ron, I think that's about everyone's desk. So what's some of like your favorite features that you guys like? I want like maybe one or two under desk drawers so I can have stuff be able to pull out, easily reach, like all my X-Acto knives, so they stop rolling around on my desk. You have your dream bench now? I don't. I hate my bench. But I really like the sanding table idea. The problem right now is this. The edge of my desk is right here. This is the biggest working area I have, because I've got a big huge box here with, that hides all my other crap. I just want to get rid of it so I have more working area. And I need to keep my stuff clean longer. Painting sleeve underneath the computer LED light strip. Alrighty. Yeah, the sanding table sounds awesome, because anytime I do sanding, this is what happens. It's just horrible. Everything gets covered. I mean, this camera here that's just out of screen is just covered in dust. It's horrible. That's the other thing that kind of sucks is five feet behind me, maybe more, is my paint area, and I want to get that closer. So if I need to paint something real quick, I can just kind of turn. There's my paint side, you know. Everything in arm length. So that's why I like this guy's idea of kind of, let's see, I don't have any just plain white paper by me, do I? Yes, I do. Alright. If I remember. White paper time. So this guy's setup. So it was like, this was just big enough for his chair to be in. His workstation, from what I could see, was right here. His sanding table was just off to the side, so all he had to do was just kind of move over a little bit, and this is his sanding station. Along this wall was his paint racks, more paint racks, and right here on a pull-out shelf, so his booth would be hiding back here, and then when he needed it, he just grabbed his paint booth and it slid right out to the edge of the table with all his paints on both sides. Over here was a cutout where his closet is. This is where he does all his machining on his lathe and everything else. So all he had to do was roll back about 5 feet and he's right there to where he needs. So he's got his workbench for all his paint. Here for this. This would be just completely empty to put parts, everything like that. Up on this wall was all his tools that he needed to build models. So it'd be a big change from going from my table, that's a corner desk. This is what you guys see. Over here is a big box where I've got all my upcoming builds and builds I'm doing in storage. Over here is my tool bin and then extra parts. And I hate this setup. I've rearranged it like 3 times. I've got a 42-inch LED light that sits right there, and my booth is clearing the heck over here. So that's why I want to rearrange how I do things. So that's why I'm getting ideas from you guys. Because everyone sets their desk up different. That will fit there. That should be my other drawing. Well, guys, we're getting to that hour mark. So I think we're gonna wrap things up. Call things a day. Go spend time with your family. Tell your mom that you love her. Everything like that. So, till next time, guys. Dragon Speed Shop. I'm out of here. Go enjoy yourself.